Welcome to the drawing board, folks. It is October again, which means it's time for all the spooky things like horror movies and Halloween. And today we're going to be talking about why we like to be scared. Welcome to the drawing board. My name is David Franklin. I am your host, and today we're going to be talking about why we like to be scared. You know, in October we do lots of scary movie dates, hanging out with our friends, going to haunted houses, and people really seem to get a kick out of that. But why is that? Well, first off, there's a couple biological and chemical things happening in your mind that make you like this. The very first is the release of adrenaline. Adrenaline is your body's chemical that it pumps into you for your fight or flight response, meaning if it gets freaked out, it needs to be able to respond in a certain way that'll keep it alive by either running or fighting. So adrenaline's job is to increase oxygen flow, to increase ATP flow, which is muscular energy, and generally dull your pain receptor so that you feel good and you perform well so that you are more capable of surviving in a dangerous situation. It also increases our heart rate and dilates our blood vessels, allowing more blood and more oxygen to come into our system more quickly, making us stronger and faster. The second thing that happens is that in order for your body to produce adrenaline, your body needs to take this chemical called tyrosine, which is a protein, an amino acid, and convert it into adrenaline. And in order to do that, it's first going to have to turn it into dopamine and then turn it into a few other chemicals before it finally makes it all the way back to adrenaline. Well, dopamine will enter your body during this process, and dopamine is sort of your happiness chemical. You get it every time you have sex or win a video game or get a promotion at work. It is your happiness and successful hormone. And when you have adrenaline, both the adrenaline making you feel stronger, more capable, and healthier, and the dopamine making you feel happier and maybe a little sexy is what's making you enjoy the experience. And before we get into the third thing, I'm going to go ahead and transition to the film part of our episode. And today we're going to be talking about Paranormal Activity, the independent movie that started it all for independent movies. Now, for some of you, you may know that I used to be into filmmaking. In fact, I had an old filmmaking channel here on YouTube. Well, I've learned a lot of the tips and tricks for filmmaking. So one, logically, film or horror movies don't really do it for me. But at the same time, I also know some of the tricks and how they're done. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about Paranormal Activity and some of the effects that were done in the movie. We're going to break them down and make the movie just a little bit less scary. But don't tell your date that. So a great indie film channel called Indie Mogul did this review a while ago. They talked about 3 of the main effects that were done in Paranormal Activity. And if you want to see it, go ahead and check the description below. I have their video linked down there. I'm not trying to hack it. I'm going to summarize it for you really quickly, but if you want to go more in depth on how the effects were done, go ahead and check down there. So there's this concept called a clean slate. And so basically that means if I wanted to do something interesting in this picture, I'd take a video without me in the picture, and then I take a video with me in the picture, and let's say I wanted to have something floating by my head, like this phone. I'd have it floating here, and I copy the clean slate right down the middle here, so I could cut out my hand from the picture and just have the phone floating right next to me. That's the example of a clean slate, and in all 3 effects they did that. They just cut out the effect. So the very first effect that you see in this Paranormal Activity scene is a shadow going by the door. All they did was cut out the person walking by and have the shadow go over the door, which was such a dumb, simple effect. And so was the next one. They also cut out a person while they were using a fan to blow the sheets up, which looked like a ghost trying to go up underneath the sheets. And lastly, they dragged her out of bed using a rope, and they just cut the rope out. I know that sort of ruins the entire scariness of the movie, which is why the Paranormal Activity directors don't want to tell you how the effects are done in the first place. It ruins the experience. But here we are, scientists, and quite honestly, we're going to do our best to disprove some of the more bizarre claims out there, if at all possible. So, anyways, bring the science and the film together here as we talk about Paranormal Activity. So we're going to go ahead and get back to the third and final reason why we like to be scared. There is a third reason why we enjoy it, but it happens when we are with someone special, or at least with someone we hope to be around during the holidays, should I say. And that is in a controlled environment. Whether you're watching a scary movie or going to a haunted house, you're not really in danger. But psychologically speaking, if you're with someone who's important to you and you are scared together, that means you're going to, even though you weren't in any real danger, still the chemical response is the same, and you're going to be able to associate that person with safety and comfort. And those are both very, very important things. If you refer to your pyramid of needs, safety is way towards the bottom. And so by being with someone who not only makes you happy, which is a higher level, but making you feel safe, that means that you bond in a whole new and much, much deeper level. So, not telling you how to kind of hack the relationship, but if you are with someone special this Halloween, you might want to go to a haunted house or a scary movie, because you'll cuddle up and you'll start feeling safer together. So, 3 reasons: adrenaline, dopamine, and the cuddle loviness effect. I don't think that's an actual psychological term, but we're using it here today. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of The Drawing Board. If you like what you saw, go ahead and like and share this with a friend or a family member. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot more of this October-y goodness this month, involving horror movies and hauntings and all that. We're going to talk about why we like to be scared and all that. Next week, by fan request, we're going to be talking about lycanthropes or vampires and werewolves and all those sorts of things. And if they are possible, that's by fan request. We're going to be talking about it here pretty soon. So tune in and make sure to check back for the rest of October, when we're going to be continuing along with this theme. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next Thursday.